And welcome back, everyone. This is Frank, it's TCG, and we're going to talk about my current favorite deck, which is not green Sabine, but is red Leia Rebel. So, this is all about that action economy. First off, with Leia Organa, the leader ability is an action which is tap, attack with a rebel unit, then you may attack with another rebel unit. So you're basically getting 2 attacks for the price of 1. Also, the whole deck itself is built around the extra damage and the extra attacks, getting that economy out of the deck. On her epic side, is what I'm going to call it, say that she transforms because I'm weird, I guess. We have Raid 1, so when she attacks, she gets +1/+0 for that attack. When this unit completes an attack, you may attack with another rebel unit. So again, action economy, giving you extra attacks for 1 attack is best. For the base, we have Tarkin Town. So Tarkin Town reads, epic action, deal 3 damage to a damaged non-leader unit. The biggest problem with both Sabine, Leia, and other aggressive decks, if you can stall them out to the late game, they generally fall over to your big unit. So if you've got extra ways to deal damage, ramming units through, just dealing as much damage as you can, then you can take out some of those more problematic units. Moving forward, we have Benthic Choo-Choo. So this is a 1-cost 2/2 red unit. On attack, another friendly red unit gains Raid 2 for this phase, so it gets +2/+0. Thing to remember about Raid is it's always Raid X, where X is the number, obviously, but gives it +X/+O. So again, just extra damage. Then we have Partisan Insurgent. So when you control another red unit, this unit gains Raid 2. This is a 2-cost red unit for a 1/4, so it'll be a 3/4. Again, just notice, of course, these are rebels, because this entire deck is all about being a rebel player. Next up, we have Green Squadron A-Wing, which is just a 2-cost space unit for 1/3, and has Raid 2, so when it attacks, it becomes a 3/3. Again, these are cheap units, they're easy for you to get multiple in play. Smash face pretty hard. Next up, we have Red 3, which everyone should absolutely be familiar with as well. This is a 3-cost Alliance Red unit. It is a Rebel vehicle fighter. It is a space unit as well. It's a 2/3 with Raid 1. And then we get into some of the extra additional damage. So we have Sabine Wren, which is 2 for a red Rebel side. I can never remember what that pip means. Gonna ignore. This is a 2/3 Mandalorian Rebel Spectre. So luckily is a rebel as well. While there are at least 3 aspects among friendly units, this unit can't be attacked, unless you gain, of course. And on attack, you may deal 1 damage to the defender or to a base. So this is only 2 copies, because I feel like 3 copies is a bit overkill with her. I don't think she's good enough in this particular deck to run 3 copies, but the extra damage to a base or a unit is pretty good. Next up, we have K2SO, everyone's favorite mouthy bot. This is 4 for a red rebel unit, which is a droid. It is a 4/4 with Overwhelm, so it means that any additional damage it deals to a unit, it will deal to their base. And when defeated, for each opponent, choose 1, either deal 3 damage to that player's base, or that player discards a card from their hand. Very rare that you're going to make somebody discard. It's not unheard of, but mostly you're just going to be applying that extra damage directly onto somebody's base, because let's just say that you've already gotten in for an attack for 4 with this, and then your opponent kills it. 7 damage straight up to their base. That is a hefty amount of damage to a 25 health, or even a 30 health, but more a 25. Fighters for Freedom. So this is a Saboteur. So when this unit attacks, ignore Sentinel and defeat the defender's shields. Because we need to get around Sentinel a little bit. I mean, probably more than what we have, but we run with it right now because we've got sideboard stuff that has anti-Sentinel stuff in it. This is a 3 cost red unit. It's a Rebel Trooper, a 3/4. And also has, whenever you play another red card, you may deal 1 damage to a base. So this entire deck is made up of as much red as we could fit in safely. So the majority of the deck is red. There is some green and colors units for this particular deck, just so that we can try and deal as much damage. Now, one of the interesting things about dealing damage is why we have Mace Windu, not a rebel. Let's just start off the bat saying that is a 7 cost 5/7 red unit. Force Jedi Republic has ambush. So when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, ready him. How we think. Okay, so it's going to ambush, but it's going to eventually die. And, well, somewhat true. If you can keep him alive long enough, then what you can do is use Bright to kind of save the day, to pick up Mace, so Mace can attack on another sequence. So Bright Hope is 4 cost for a green command unit. Rebel Vehicle Transport, again another Rebel, 2/6 with Sentinel. And when played, you may return a friendly non-leader ground unit to its owner's hand. And if you do, draw a card. Now, this actually saves you in multiple situations. Maybe some damage on a unit that you want to save, or maybe you have Wing Leader and you want to apply extra experience token, something. Maybe sizes, want to save them from dying, pick them up. It's just one of those cards that allows you to really kind of sculpt the game a bit more in favor. Save what you need to save. Next up, we have Fleet Lieutenant. Be already aware of this amazing rebel. This is a Rebel Trooper, 3 cost for a 3/3. Already great stats. When played, you may attack with a unit. If it's a rebel, it gets +2/+0 for this attack. Now that's any unit, right? So the action economy is still there. You get extra action economy if it's a rebel, which is why this deck is faced so heavily around doing rebels. Going back to that Wing Leader, as we were saying, this is a space unit. It's a 3 for a 2/1 rebel fighter vehicle, and when played, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly rebel unit. Continuing with the experience and the extra damage, kind of lump them all into the same clause. We have Metal Ceremony. This is a 0 cost rebel card. Give an experience token to each of up to 3 rebel units that attacked this phase. So that, I mean, that can include, of course, Leia herself, because she is actually a rebel official, still a rebel. I've pulled off this with 3 units maybe once, which is really cool. But definitely is very strong at deck at the right time, especially considering you can play multiple and they cost you 0, so they are free to play. Rebel Assault. This is a 1 cost rebel tactic. Again, going for the action economy. Attack with a rebel unit and it gets +1/+0 for this attack. Then attack with another rebel unit and it gets +1/+0 for this attack. So again, you're paying 1. You're getting the bonus of giving 2 of your units +1/+0 and being able to attack with those 2 units. That is a really, really great action economy. We also have Heroic Sacrifice. We're only playing 2 of these. So this is a red tactic, draw a card, and then attack with a unit. For this attack, it gets +2/+0 and gains when this unit deals combat damage, defeat it. Now, this could be used just to smash into somebody's base for that last little bit of damage. Maybe you have to clear out a sentinel, and this is the only way to do it. Drawback is obviously you lose the unit, but the pro to this is that you draw a card. The thing with this deck is once you start getting into that late game, you are going to lose cards from your hand pretty fast because everything is so cheap to play, and that is what makes you right. Well, I'm put into a position where I really need to get those cards into my hands. So we have another red tactic. This is precision fire. Attack with the unit, and it gains saboteur for this attack. If it's a trooper, it also gets +2/+0 for this attack. Now, remember that we do actually have quite a few troopers in here for our rebels, so that makes a lot of sense. We'll actually definitely be looking to put this on a trooper so that the trooper can get that bonus. But saboteur means that we can go through and just smack somebody's base, usually for the win as well. 3 copies of Keep Fighting is 2-cost red tactic. Ready a unit with 3 or less power. Raid units especially are very good for you to ready and re-attack. But, as we get into later, so is things like the regional sympathizers because it has store. But when it comes down to it, pretty much if you've got your raid guy like benthic 2 tubes that can give multiple other units raid, fantastic. And remember that the raid stacks, that's the most important part. Next we have 2 copies of Foro Cores I believe in. This is something that I really need to figure out how to get to 3. Whether it is take out a precision strike or something else. But this is an innate event for 3. Red event. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. For each alliance card revealed this way, deal 1 damage to an enemy base. You can discard any of the revealed cards and put the rest back on top of your deck in any order. Particularly really good in another deck that I've been testing out, which is a Leia deck with C3PO and stuff like that in it. Just like see what your top cards are. It's good in the Imwe Chirrut deck, except the Imwe deck is, I mean, if you're playing that, you may as well play this or Sabine, to be honest. But we have a lot of alliance stuff in here. Pretty much every card in here is an alliance card, so we want to capitalize on that as much as possible. Big problem is I keep getting to sideboard these out when I sideboard in things like Wolf that doesn't have the alliance symbol, and reduces the amount of damage generally that it's outputting because I'm very unlucky. Alright, so next up, I think we should probably talk Fender. This is a very solid Rebel Trooper. Again, going back to that Trooper thing, right? The command unit for 3 costs is a 4/3 with Sentinel. Just exactly what it says on the box. You have to attack it. You have to clear it out somehow. It is going to go that other clear out. Bright Hope, we already went through. But 4-cost command, ship, Rebel Vehicle Transport 2/6, Sentinel as well, because we want to protect our skies if need be. When played, you may return a friendly non-leader ground unit to its owner's hand, and if you do, draw a card. Remember, Bright Hope is a unique unit, so you kind of have 2 in play. Going back to those regional sympathizers, as the last to talk about, we have 2 of these because they are Restore 2 and a Rebel. There are 3/4, so we can get multiple uses by untapping them, getting that unit from Keep Fighting. And then there's a chance that in a single turn we might be able to restore 4 instead of 2 to save. So this is it. This is my Rebel Leia deck. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's pretty quick. Again, late game aggro just kind of falls on its face. So there's not really a big way at the moment to really get around that. So you're trying to deal as much damage as quickly as possible and use up that smash your opponent's faces. What have you been playing? Have you been playing aggro, non-Sabine, and how have you been doing against cards like Vanquish? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Franken's TCG. Thank you so much for hanging out, and keep fighting the good fight, I guess. Something. May the force be with you. I don't know. I don't care.